is a 2x1, and while it's a pretty amazing starter base, it lacks many needed qualities to be considered the best Rust base. So I'm going to show you guys the ultimate expansion to help you transform this simple 2x1 into the perfect Rust main base. And I'm sure you guys want to see a tour of the base, so I'll give you a quick fly through. This bad boy has compound funnels, a shell with breach peaks and turrets, a main loot spot that holds over 25 boxes, a shooting floor with insane retake potential, and a multi-purpose roof. Now let's begin into this tutorial. We're going to start off by placing 2 foundations like this out of squares and upgrade them to stone. Then add a triangle for the airlock, and you can put the airlock on this right now if you want. Place a wall to the left, and then wall in the rest of this base, while upgrading it all to stone. Put a roof on the triangle, and then the rest of the 2x1, finish sealing that up. Place a TC off to the left, and while you're doing that, you can also make an airlock on the base. Now we're going to want to go out to the right and create a shelf for the inside for the loot room. So go to the other side of the base, place a triangle out of thatch, and then place a triangle through that. We can go back in here and upgrade this to stone, place more frames, and then you can place whatever deployables you want inside this main 2x1 area. For now, I'm just going to place boxes, and as I always say, rotating this wall can help a lot with this box placement down here. And then make sure to rotate that wall back. You can place a garage door on this for now. And then place your tier 2 or tier 3, wherever you're at in the wipe, over to this side. And then you could also place some furnaces on the other side. 2 will fit nice and snug, and then you can also fit 2 bags conveniently in the center. And then that's your starter completed. Now let's expand up. Now before building up any more of the base, we gotta thank today's is an up and over 2x1. You're gonna want to place 2 more triangles like this off the starter, and then wall these in. Now I like having this as a furnace jump up, so you can place 1 or 3 furnaces for now. Place a frame on this. Place a floor like that. And then come and build up like this with a frame in the center. And then put a roof on that and seal that off. You can put a garage door or a double door out. I like putting a frame here for stability, but it's not necessary. Then I come up here and wall in this side of the base and place roofs like this. Now for the jump up, we're going to want to create the actual way up into your base. So start by placing 3 triangles like this. And then wall in the right and left side. Wall in the left side. And then place a half floor jump up on the right side. Upgrade these both to stone. And then place a double door on the front. And now you have a jump up. Now on this side, this is going to be your jump up onto the next story. So make sure to leave this roof part open, but you can also upgrade this all to stone. I like to put a frame here to remind your teammates to not upgrade this to a floor. And I would put a double door here for now. Wall this part in, and then wall these 2 walls in as well, and place roofs on them. Now for this part, you can leave this as a double door, and then wall in the roof. And you can place double doors on the outsides of this for now. Now for extra loot storage, you can create these into loot rooms. And later on, these double doors will be completed into a 3-box loot room on either side. Complete another loot room on this side. And place a frame in the center. And now we can expand out, and then we can go up. Place a double door on the outside for this. And then place a garage door on here if you had it. Now we can start by placing the shell down for the base. So come over to the front and place a square and upgrade this. And then off the right and left side, place triangles like this. Now complete the same exact triangle around the entire base. So do squares here. Place a triangle in the center and leave this triangle open. Square on this side. triangle, square, triangle, square, and then a triangle in the center. Now this will be your ring, and you can start by placing the front door in the center, so it should be parallel with the actual front door into your main 2x1. You can wall this section in, and come over here and do the same thing. You can place a door on here for now, but it doesn't matter since this is going to be open for a little bit. And then for this portion, this is going to be a multi-TC section, so we're going to want to do this right now. Place a triangle and go out 7 squares from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then cap this off with a triangle at the very end and delete everything back. Now run back over to this foundation and go back half moon triangles like this. And then line these up perfectly like this. And you can delete all the twig back. Now complete this exact format on the exact opposite side of the base. Triangle and go out 7 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cap this off with the triangle at the very end. And then delete back. Go back with half moons. And then upgrade these 3 triangles and delete everything back. Now you can start by making these the breach peaks since they're going to be the breach peaks of the base. So place 3 half walls like this across and then 3 windows on top of these and upgrade them to stone. You can place a frame in the center triangle and then place frames like this and upgrade them to stone. Now this triangle is going to be honeycomb, so just wall this in and upgrade that. And then you can also place 2 more triangles like this. And then 2 full walls rotated towards you hard side. The hard side should be facing this. And then seal this roof off with 3 triangles right above you. This will be completing this section. And then you can come over to this breach peak side on the other side and do the same exact thing. Now honeycomb the inside. And then 3 triangles like this. And then 2 full walls facing you with the roofs on top of them like this. Now you can place frames for more stability on the front story. And then you can wall this in and keep this on the first floor. Place roofs on the entire first story. Now copy this side on this side as well. And now your entire 4th story is going to be completed and sealed. For now, I'm just going to place frames down in the actual 1st story. At this part in the video, this base is almost defendable because of these breach peaks. I would recommend sealing these up with windows though, or wooden barricades if you have any. Now next expansion, we're going to want to go out, and these multi-TC bunkers are going to decay if we do not have an upkeep on them. So we're going to place the TCs right now. Start by placing 1 square out and upgrading this to stone, and then go out 1 more square, and this is going to be create the gatehouse for the compound. Now you don't have to create the compound gatehouse right now. We're going to want to place the TC down for now. So start by going 4 squares off of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then place 3 triangles off of this. And upgrade these 3 triangles to stone. The 1 square off of this, upgrade to wood. And then delete the rest back. On the gatehouse, place 2 half walls like this. Place a single door on the right. And then wall the rest in. And upgrade these all to stone. And then place roofs on this like so. This is going to be a disconnectable TC, and the reason for this is because the stability is less when you have 2 half walls. Place a front door on this gatehouse, and then place the actual TC inside of here. Place a window over that, upgrade that, and place the actual window itself. Now to connect back, you're going to want to create your gatehouse now. So place 2 single doors on opposite sides, and then windows on both sides. I like to seal these off with windows. And then 2 single doors, seal this off. Now place just frames all the way back to the gatehouse and upgrade these. And now this breach peak style thing will be connected back to your external TC. So this will not ever decay as long as you put upkeep in this. And I'll show you how to disconnect it now. Place a single roof like this, and this will override that in case you do get raided and you need to disconnect your main TC from your single TC out here. And other than that, let's do this exact thing on the exact opposite side for this. Again, square here, another square, and then 2 triangles off the right and left. Single door in the center, another single door, rotate that, and then windows all around. And then roofs on top of here. I like to seal this off just for now. And now we could do the external TC. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 triangles off this. Upgrade these, and then the 1 you can upgrade to wood and delete wreaths back. 2 half walls right here, a single door, and then wall the rest of this in. Single door on that, and then grab your TC and place that with a window protecting it. And then place frames all the way back with squares. And now nothing on your base will decay. Now we can get onto the compound, and then we can build up after that. And now on this step, we're going to want to create the actual funnel for this front door. So start by placing 3 triangles like this, and then creating another one, and coming out with a square like this. Now delete these triangles back. Place 1 triangle off the square, and then place 2 squares and 2 triangles off the ends of these. Delete this square and redo everything into stone. Now this is going to create a tight little funnel into your compound, so raiders just can't easily door path you into your shell. You can wall this back part in, and then place windows on the left and right sides of here. A single door can go here, and then another window can go there. Place roofs on top of here just to seal this off. And then you can seal this off with its respective deployables. I like to put windows, beds, and bags inside of here. And this funnel is going to be off the main TC right now, so if it starts decaying, don't worry, and connect it back to the main TC. But to finish this off, you're going to want to place a full wall here, and then half wall, and then keep this half wall and upgrade these 2, and exactly like that. Again, full wall, roof on top of here, half wall, and then a frame in the center, and then upgrade these 2 things. Now we're going to want to replicate that on the exact opposite side, and I'll also show you how the funnel works before we do that. First of all, if this door is open, they literally can't get in. You can also spam shotgun traps on the bottom floor, and the turret later on will be up here, so they will not be able to access your front door. Now let's go to the other side and complete the same thing. Same thing here, 4 triangles like this, and then a square off the end triangle. Delete the triangles back. Place 1 off of here, and then 2 squares and 2 triangles off the ends, and then upgrade everything to stone. Again, single door right here, window on the left, window on the right, another window, and then walls all around, and then roofs on top of here. Single door, and then you can place windows on all of their respective spots. And then for the final side of the actual bedroom, we're going to want to place a full wall here, and then a half floor. The goal of this is just to create a head glitch on the inside for the peak. Another full wall. and then seal this completely up. Now we could start by placing barricades and the turret placements on top of all of these gatehouses. For the first one, come over here and place 3 half walls like this. Upgrade these to stone. And then place roofs to seal this off on top of here. And then 2 triangles on either side and place the barricades roughly in the center. And then a turret will go in the center like that. For this side, this is going to decay a little bit, so don't worry. We need to build up the main part of the base a little bit for that. Again, on this side, 3 half walls. And then seal this off with roofs. And then barricades on top of here. And then again, a turret right in there. Now we can place the compound walls, so do that as right now. This should also be barely on the inside of this inner part. Now that the compound's completed, we can go on the inside and place the furnaces and do whatever else deployables we need. The compound is really spacious, so you'll have plenty of room to place down the furnaces. And now we'll start up building up the base so we can connect these back so they don't decay. Now coming back up to this inner 2x1 section, we're going to want to wall in this loot room right here. So place 2 walls on either side and upgrade these, and then place 3 triangles to seal this off on the roof. And then you can also take off this door and replace it with a garage door in a little bit. So make this a full shelf loot room in here and upgrade this all to stone. And then I'll show you how to place these boxes because sometimes they're tricky. Place 2 on the outside first and then 1 on the center. And this can be a 6-box loot room as well. And then we're going to do the exact same thing right here. Replace that with a garage door, 2 walls on either side, and then 3 triangles above us. Create a full shelf, upgrade this all to stone, and then delete the little half floor, and then 3 boxes on the bottom, and 3 boxes on the top. And another thing we can upgrade into a garage door will be this double door. This garage door will give you access to the next story. So place this jump up here. And this is where it's going to get a little difficult. So start by placing a half floor here. And then a window on top of this. And then placing a wall behind here. And then a double door here. And then place a frame above like this. And then you can seal this off with a garage door or a double door. I would prefer a double door, just so that the raiders can't drop down if they get access to this part of your base. But yeah, later on this will be into a garage door, to clarify. Same thing right here. Just do it on the parallel side, half floor window. And then wall right here. Half floor, and then same thing, double door on the inside. This will also be a garage door later on. Now, these squares on the outside of the base can be sealed up. So we're going to do that right now. Place walls on the outside of here. And then place roofs on here. Same thing all around. And then last side right here. Now for these corners of the base, this is how you're going to connect it back to this outside area. So we're going to want to place half walls on the inside Place a floor on this, and then windows like this on the inner side. Place a roof on top of here, a single door like this, and then on these bottom portion, you're going to want to place a half floor like this. And then same thing right here, place another half wall. And then for this, all you're going to want to do is place a frame off the actual main base. And then place a actual double door frame like this. And now you can create this little section right here. So start by placing half walls on the outside of the base. And then place 3 frames like this, which are triangles. And then place 3 triangle actual frames on the inside to connect it back to the main TC. This will make sure that your base doesn't decay from this section out. Also upgrade these to metal. And now you can place barricades on these. I like to do this. And this will give it no access to the raiders to come in. Even grubs can't come in here. And then a turret can go under here as well to cover more of your compound at a cheeky angle. Now we're going to want to replicate this exact portion on the other side of the base. Now that we're over on this side, start by placing the 3 half walls in the center again. Put a floor on top of here. And then place the windows on the inside. Place a roof on top of this. And then a single door like this. Now we can come down here. Place half floors like this. Another half floor. And then place the single triangle off the sides of the base like this. And then frames up on double doors. And then now we can connect this back to the main TC again. 3 half walls like this, upgrade these to stone. 3 triangle floors, upgrade these to stone. And then on the inner side, place 3 triangle frames. And upgrade these to stone or metal, whatever your desired grade is. Now for the barricades, just place them on these. And it's grub proof now, nobody can jump into your compound. Also place a turret under here, I would recommend highly the second you get it. And now that we're on the shooting floor section, we can start by building this up. You can wall in this section right here, and then place a window at the outside of the base. Same thing right here. Wall, window, and there's already a wall here, so don't worry about that. And then place roofs on top of these, and copy that on the opposite side. Wall, wall, window on the outside, and then wall, window here. And then place roofs on top of this portion. Place a double door frame to section this off. And then you can place 2 frames in the center, like this. Now place 2 single triangles to seal this off. And we can begin on this outer main portion. Start by placing 3 frames like this, and upgrading these to stone. And then place windows on top of here. And then place a triangle in the center. And upgrade one side of this to metal and one side to stone. And I'll show you why in a second. If you have it like this, these will separate and they won't connect. Otherwise, if you had them like this, they would connect. Make sure they are split like this. This gives you much better of a peek into your compound. It's almost like a wide gap, but it's a lot cheaper. And you can also see out extremely far. So keep it like this. Place 3 triangles in the center like this. And then place low walls like this. And then place triangles on top of this breach beak thing here. And now for the deployables, you're going to want to place window frames like this. And then place a box and a turret in the center portion. So place a box here. And then a little farther back, place a turret in front of that. The turret's going to guard the front of that. And then the box will give you access to a crouch peak out far. Also will give you access to the roof peak up portion as well. Now these are going to be bedrooms. And we're going to want to mirror that on the exact opposite side. So 3 double door frames like this. Windows on top of here. And upgrade these. Triangle in the center. And then make sure one side is metal and one side is stone. Like this, so they're split. frames up in the center of triangles, and then low walls, and seal these roofs off with triangles as well. And then in the center, once again, place embrasures like this. Place a box like this to get a nice little peak. And then place a turret on the center portion. I also recommend upgrading this because it can be soft-sided if a grub wants to come up here and soft-side this out. So make that metal as well. And then these will be converted into bedrooms with a nice little window peek down. I'm just going to seal off these with embrasures for now. Same thing over here. And you can fill up these as you want. As of this single door, place a ramp facing inward like this, just for more vision and less chance of getting hit. And then for this bedroom, we can place a locker on the outside. So place a window like this. Place a locker like such. And then place a bed like this. And then you can fit 2 small boxes in between the bed and the wall. And I recommend placing horizontal embrasures facing inward like this to get a nice little head glitch peek into your compound. And then I would also recommend a single door right here. Now copy this on the exact opposite side. I'm going to do the single door first. Embrasures on the inside of the base. And then place the window and that locker in the front part. And then a bedroom with 2 small boxes. I like placing frames all around here just to spam garage doors. And then next, we're going to want to focus on expanding up since the entire shooting floor is done by this point. You're going to want to convert into garage doors on both sides because you're going to have 2 jump ups. Now for this back portion, you're going to want to leave this open, so don't place any frames or anything back here. Place a window to the left, and then a window to the right, and then a double door frame on the outside, and place a half floor here, and seal this roof off with triangles. Do the same thing here. Place a window there, window here, leave the back side open, half floor here, double door frame, and then triangles to seal this off. Place a horizontal embrasure up. And then you can spam garage doors on this section. Now as for this backside, you're going to want to place frames all the way up like this. And then place windows like this all the way up. And then place a triangle off the inside of the base. And on top of here, place a low wall and finish this off with a roof. Now do this exact thing on this side exactly. Frames all the way around, double door frames, windows on top of the frames, and then a triangle in the center, a low wall here, and a roof to seal that off. Again, place deployables as you want them. I like to place horizontal embrasures like that off the sides of the windows. And then make sure to seal off this main part with garage doors or double doors. Now to finish off the roof, place double door frames in the center. And seal off the center point. This can also be a mini garage if you would like, but this is going to be a completely different sectioned off portion of the roof. Now here you can place a roof out and upgrade these 2 to stone. And then on the inside, place this and upgrade this to wood. This is just going to be a mini bedroom right here. And then copy that on the exact opposite side. Frame out, roof out, frame here, upgrade that to wood, half floor there, upgrade that to wood. Beds can be just placed like this, as I said. And then the last part is you're just going to place roofs on the inside to create this little turret pod. Sometimes these can be difficult to place, so I would like to get down below these, upgrade all these to stone, and then put a turret in the center of these. This will guard your entire outer section. You can also put more bags, boxes, and turrets inside of this portion, but don't worry about it too much. Roofs facing in again, and then a turret in the center like this. Also on top of these portions, you can place 2 windmills, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Go up 2 frames high, and upgrade them all to stone. And then obviously in a real wipe, you won't be able to fly, so you're going to want to put netting or something or ladders all the way up. But make sure to place a floor on here, and then all you're going to do is place a windmill on top of the square. It should look like this, 2 floors high, and we're going to do that on this side as well. Around again, upgrade these all to stone, place a stone roof on top of here, and then in the center of that, place your windmill down like so. And other than that, your base is complete. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.